杨氏太极剑54式套路名称。
Yang style taichi 54 sword form.
起师
Commencing form.
天人指路
Angel pointing the way.
三环套月
3 rings around the moon.
大魁星
Great grand star.
胭脂超水
Swallow skimming water.
左右拦扫
Left right parry and slice.
小魁星
Small grand star. Swallow entering a nest. Nimble cat chasing mouse. Phoenix raises head. Bumblebee dives into a hole. Phoenix spreading right wing. Small grand star. Phoenix spreading left wing. Fishing form. Dragon zigzagging 3 times. Evening bird flies into woods. Black dragon shakes tail. Blue dragon dashing out of water. Wind blows and rolls lotus leaves. Lion swings head 3 times. Tiger holds head. Mustang jumps over creek. Turn and hold the riding horse. Step up and thrust needle. Dusting against the wind 3 times. Push boat along the flows. Falling star toward the moon. Heaven horse flying over waterfalls. Lifting the curtain. Left, right, rotates wheel. Swallow picks up dirt. Big bird spreading wings. Searching moon at bottom of sea. Embracing moon. Nata boy dives in ocean. Rhinoceros staring at the moon. Shooting the wild goose. Blue dragon stretching claws. Phoenix spreading wings. Left, right, stepping over hurdles. Shooting the wild goose. White ape presents the fruits. Left, right, falling flowers. Jade lady runs through shuttles. White tiger curves the tail. Fish jumps into the dragon gate. Black dragon winding the post. Angel guides the direction. One straight upward incense. Wind sweeps plum flowers. Holding the ivory stick. Holding sword and concluding.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. 那么就是下面就是要讲这个手的问题了。
Hold the sword with relaxed fingers.
这个拿剑呢，就不要5个手。
A gripping palm is very restricted like this, but watch a relaxed palm. There's more flexibility.
里面要空，里面要空，3只手，但是你又不能兰花手。
Hold the sword with your fingers, lightly with the little finger.
一般情况下面是这样。
You'll find your flexibility.
到发劲的时候。
And it's good for creating fa jing. As you get to the end of your movement, you grip your palm and fingers onto the handle and release the energy.
啊，这个呢其实是接
Forehand,
反击呢
backhand fa jing movements.
也是这样，反正终归是要空的，里面是空。
Hold the handle in your fingers, palm empty, and project the fa jing out through the wrist onto the sword.
这个有一个试的人呢，是吧？如果你很慢的话，你到这里呢，慢它就是慢的做了了，
There's a difference between slow and fast play.
快的话就是啪，一直到上面；
If you do it fast, your energy gets to the end of the blade quickly.
慢的话，你一定要慢。
If you perform slowly, your energy goes out the sword handle, sword blade, sword tip, gradually and slowly.
这些东西不去管它。啊
Another thing to remember,
啊，剑就是啊，要讲的有新花样了了啊
a diagonal cut must be from the waist.
啊，不能打开打狠啊，剑门身体也是注意，
Clean and precise.
剑门都收。
Use the upper end of the blade edge and keep the movements in relationship to your center. Protect your sword gate.
啊，剑不能死的
I want to remind you to keep from holding the sword dead in your hand. Don't grab the sword with everything you've got.
18戒的话就是。
Just remember to keep some space between your palm and your fingers. Because you want to keep the hand flexible to express differences in movements, like slow circles
啊，fast 他们就啪。
or fa jing moves.
这个手啊，
The sword fingers.
古代的时候是这样拿的，
In the old days, you would extend 2 fingers on top of the sword handle.
现在呢改成为这样拿。
But in modern times, often it's been changed to 1 finger like this.
啊，还没有了。如果2个在前面的话，后面3个不够。
Another thing, you put the index finger on the sword body, and the other 4 fingers are on the sword guard. That way it's a stronghold.
啊，所以呢，2个都可以用。
If you want to put 2 fingers on the sword handle and 2 on the guard, or 1 finger on the sword handle and 3 on the guard, that's fine.
也可以用
You can either way.
啊。现在就是还是做一个比较来的顺，所以这样拿啊。还有一个剑指啊，剑指大拇指一定要在无名指的
With the sword hand, the thumb is against the ring finger, index, and middle fingers, straight and together,
啊，不要做成这个
not spread apart. Or any way distorted.
有的呢，咦，它这个也会出来，刀是这个
Hold the hand out like a salute.
啊，所以出去的时候剑指，还有一个剑指不要成三角形，
Be careful not to form right angle or triangular shapes.
弧形
Make your movements have a circular shape.
啊，弧形
If you point your sword fingers to your eyes, your arm will take on the triangular shape. You want the taichi curve.
这也不要，
Keep your arms on the inside line of your body.
反正这个位置剑的位置
The relationship of your hands and body to the sword is what makes your alignment accurate, and that gives you correct posture.
好了，哎，这个拿对，还有这个呢，这个没系统了，
Now, as to holding the sword at commencement,
不能拿成这个
make sure that only the flat of the blade touches your forearm, never the edge.
平，应该是跟这个平
Flat, straight.
啊平，那么你出去的话就是
Make sure that the sword after the first move is held vertically,
不要这个啊脱下来了啊，
not at an angle, which is easy to do if you translate it too literally from brush knee.
这个手臂出去不要伸得很直，
Don't point the arm too straight.
那没圆的味道了嘛，手过来
Remember, keep the shapes curved
啊，不要这个
and your shoulders squared. If you extend your torso too far, you'll be all off.
拉回来拉
Relax your shoulders.
平正出去伸，
Face straight ahead. Holding of the tassel.
对呀。啊，这个一般呢就是打这个传统套路呢是有的
When doing this traditional form, you start with your palms forward.
啊，不是传统套路都是这样打啊
Take hold of the tassel with the middle finger, and your middle finger is wrapped against the sword handle, like so.
啊这样的，啊，一上来以后
Now let go.
过来，过去的时候这个，过来以后
Sometimes the form begins with the flourish like this, sometimes not.
啪一过来以后，上，
But you keep the movement continuous directly from commencement.
这里就不停了啦，马上就。
Some people get carried away twisting their shoulders.
现在你们这个是说不出来，你们到了这里以后啊，上来以后
Watch this and see what I mean.
要动的话，你就全部都在动
The movement comes from the waist, but you don't have to exaggerate it.
啊。过来以后，上，
No twisting, keep the moves precise and square.
只要里面一点准就可以了啦。
Inside, little moves are okay.
一开，上，
Subtle, not extreme.
要是啊，上来这个就
Don't be obvious.
肩全部上了的，
Keeping your shoulders relaxed, no twisting.
还是撑到这里
We'll continue.
上，反
Vertical slash and incline cross slash.
可这个是哪？
I need a more contemporary explanation of this segment because your notes say she says there's 13 methods and she only mentions 8. So, and I don't know what order they're in, and I want to be accurate.
这就是讲啊，学讲
Now, after you practice these tips, we'll go over them again together for corrections.
好，以后就是大家有这个
I hope after this you'll be able to discover by yourselves the 13 taichi methods found in the sword form. Also, remember it seems faster when learning with your teacher, but for deeper understanding the lessons you must practice alone. On the other hand, it's good to practice with friends and play with the lessons together, but do enjoy seeking the rewards of solo practice as your teachers have done.
"好，那是不是下面就是我讲了啦？
对
啊，
Good, let's talk about those movements.
一个就是你做的这一段里面，
I'd like to start by looking at the first 4 methods. With Peng, grasp the sword from the far side of the handle that faces away from you.
一个是反刺，
Then move to an overhead thrust posture.
一个是撇，
Then slice,
一个是接。
and on to a diagonal upward slice, which starts right at the beginning of the move.
啊，这个撇的时候，
It needs to go close and parallel to the ground.
接，
Then up to the fodging expression, like this.
不紧的时候，手这个
Relaxed palm. And one more thing, a detail about commencement. Demonstrate the circular form, but follow up like this without stopping in between postures.
啊，那就转了。啊，这个就是撇，一个是接，一个是反刺，啊，还有一个是
You need to be aware there are several basic sword strikes.
接
Cut,
撇
slice,
刺，
thrust,
啊，刺的时候它是一个是反刺，
overhead thrust,
下
downward thrust,
上刺，
upward thrust,
平刺，
and level thrust.
起司天人之路，三环套月，大亏心，胭脂焯水。
Next segment,
这个机器不能摇吗？是了吗？ 哎，好，你这段呢，就是有抽带底啊，抽。你比如说这里，
This next is an upward slice,
这是
followed by
带
a right
抽
and left diagonal level cut.
啊，要平，这个过来啊，不要这样，平，
Level
一个提啊，这个也可以叫了底底
up to a diagonal empty pointing stance, the sword almost vertical. Watch that the shoulders don't get too high.
啊，这是提，这个下面是个刺
Pivot around to a downward thrust, and then the first jumping step and thrust again.
蹦
Lift, pivot, and turn.
也是刺，
Thrust downward,
这就是反击
backhanded fudging stroke.
啊，反击。刚才这个呢，小完之后呢，就是正的击啊，这个是反的击，
Forehand and backhand fudging strokes.
对吧？就是要注意啊，一个是抽提啊，这个拦
Left and right, there's forehand and thrusting, both forehanded and backhanded strokes.
左抽右带击啊，你这个是反击，做的时候就要注意这些东西。
All of those. Our next sequence.
OK， 啊，那这一段呢，啊，里面有有这个结，啊，一节的结，一个是洗，啊，做洗的时候应该怎么做啊？这个是小亏心，啊，提，反撇，洗，随着腰转。 啊，随着腰转上来，上刺，下接，下接是撇是正的，啊，这个接是斜的，啊是斜的，这样啊，洗腰带。 抽，刺，接，刺，啊。啊，这个一段呢，你就是刚才这个没做好，脚 这里是风卷荷叶，啊，这里是青龙出水，到这个地方脚一定要这样，这里啊转过来的时候，这里脚腿平刺，这个地方是压了来，脚腿。是，压，啊，就是脚的时候，这个，哎，脚，一个压的时候要压下来以后，对。就这个是一个撇点了，啊撇，又是撇，又是点，这个是个泵，转，提，这是点，啊这是点，所以是这个撇点啊，做的时候就撇点要注意这个。到这里，啊，撇点，对，啊，这一段动作主要是一个反击，啊，也是一个反击。这里提的时候，这是提剑不能往外面去，啊，一定平的下来。好，原来是这里啊，提，撇，抽，刺，点。反击了，还有一个啊，这个步子很注意啊，要注意，不要拖啊，这个步子带回来。上啊 ，OK。 对。你这个地方呢有一个新的式啊，有一个新的式。你是这里一个是反击，这是一个嘎啊，嘎嘎。这个嘎呢就是相差一点了啊，不是很正的，这个不要针对上下啊，略微有一点直啊，有点直的这个过来也是有点直，就是怕对方打过来的时候，你说。这样的话就是要缺口了嘛啊，稍微这样一点啊，这样一点。那么还有这个结的时候，注意，不是平的啊。你们有几个作业是做平的，这个一定要这样下来，这样下来啊。好，这个啊，这个地方是一个反击，下来也好，嘎嘎。这个又是一个结啊，又是一个结。那么这个下来的时候啊，这个是个结，是个结啊，这也是这个地方，1、2、3、4、5。哎，跳鱼跳龙门。这个方向有点乱了。OK， 这个地方呢，主要是一个扫荡腿跟这个拦腰剑啊，一个是鱼跳龙门，跳好以后提一点4转一个扫荡。所以这个地方呢，这个地方呢，就是还有一个就是各个地方跳的时候，跳的时候，你做3个跳，3跳就是一个是临马步出，一马跳进要跳得远，一马跳进要跳得远，对，第3个呢就是鱼跳龙门，要跳得高，要跳得高。这个3个有区别的，对，这个3个。那么除了这个3个之外呢，还有这个3个圈，3个圈，3个圈，一个是平蹦，还有一个呢是斜蹦，还有一个呢是竖蹦。这个3个圈就是千万不要做成怎么样呢？这样，这个不行，不好的，一定要连贯起来，接好以后，然后再往上，好，还有这个3个圈，3个圈再往做看3个圈。 对，第二个圈斜圈，对，第三个，对，啊，做得蛮好。那么这个一段就到这里结束了啦，啊，这个结束了啦。如果再要翻头的话，这个就是结束了。结束了以后，大家一起练一遍，这个已经练过了啊，这个练熟了。
Overhead thrust. This could be a chop. Uppercut. Slice. This is also a cut. They could be blocks, they could be cuts. There's many different interpretations. So if somebody could go through the tape, I think this first repetition of the whole form would be nice if there were not every single thing was accounted for, but if somebody will please go through the tape, and probably from their experience from teacher Shen, they'll be able to come up with what she calls a cut or a chop or a slice or whatever. So all you have to do is look at the list that I've made that goes up to 54, and on either side of it put what it is, or the ones that she went through during this tape. It's just a review of what she was teaching in the tape, and it's just very clear and concise watching her do the form. So you can get the material from the tape. And it would be a lot faster if somebody else would do it besides me, because I have to take care of some of the other technical things, which take an awful lot of time. So that would be terrific. And this is kind of up to par. And it echoes in my mind what Marvin Smallheiser, how he would critique it. Because he carries some of the older tapes and he carries some of the new tapes, and there's an awful lot of information in them. And this is not unusual to have this in there. It's just neater also because she's already got that information. It's more concise all in this one little run through. And then the next run through she does it with the music is just to watch her pleasantly and to put your own mind to watching it, like, test yourself. What's the name of this and what is it? Is it a upward slice, a level thrust, a plain chop? Perhaps we could also have at the beginning of this segment just a brief sentence saying that taichi is shadow boxing, and it gives better structure and stability to the movements if there is a concept to it. It's indeed a meditation and a health exercise, but it can go deeper than that. And this tape could provide, years of study. I mean, to contemplate how a bee goes into a hole, or how a tiger grabs the head, or how the phoenix opens its wings. Those are things that would add meaning at some point to the movement. So this could be said if she wants to come up with something, or I'll do it, or you guys could, or something. Anyway, okay, bye.